"Kiss me under the mistletoe," whispered the CEO. The single dad's reply changed everything. 1,000 words. Snow fell softly over the glass facade of the Whitlock Towers as employees rushed through the lobby, excited for the annual Christmas gala. The entire building shimmered with gold ribbons, crystal ornaments, and an enormous tree that reached the second-floor balcony. But for Liam Carter, single dad and head technician, the night wasn't about glamour or champagne, it was about surviving the event without drawing too much attention. His 8-year-old daughter, Ellie, had insisted on coming. Just for the hot chocolate and the gingerbread house contest. She had said, bouncing in her snow boots. Liam couldn't refuse her. After all, it was her first Christmas without her mom, and he wanted it to feel magical. Inside the ballroom, the air was warm, the lighting soft, and Christmas jazz flowed like a gentle stream. Ellie immediately tugged him toward the dessert table, leaving Liam to trail behind, adjusting the collar of his cheap rented suit. He felt terribly out of place among the polished executives in silk gowns. Then the room shifted, softened, because she walked in. Ava Whitlock, CEO, Ice Queen, according to rumors. Untouchable, impossibly stunning in a dark emerald dress that hugged her form like it had been created just for her. People turned, whispered, admired. She walked with the quiet confidence of someone who built empires, but there was something else in her eyes tonight, something restless, almost lonely. Liam looked away. She was his boss, his boss's boss. He handled wires, machines, and systems, not women who owned skyscrapers. But fate had other plans. As Ellie reached for a gingerbread cookie shaped like a reindeer, her sleeve snagged on the tablecloth. The entire platter wobbled dangerously. Oh no, Liam lunged forward, but someone else moved faster. Ava, with perfect reflexes, she steadied the platter with one hand, then crouched to Ellie's level with a warm smile. "Hi there," she said softly. "I'm a big fan of gingerbread too." Ellie grinned shyly. "You saved the reindeer." Ava laughed, a sound so gentle that several employees nearby did a double take. "Well, I couldn't let them go down on Christmas Eve, could I?" Liam finally reached them, breathless. "Ms. Whitlock, I'm so sorry." Ellie didn't mean. Ava stood, meeting his eyes, and for a moment, the world blurred. Her gaze lingered longer than it should have. His breath hitched. "It's fine, Liam," she said softly. "Really?" He swallowed. He wasn't used to being looked at like that, like he wasn't invisible. Ellie tugged Ava's dress. "Do you want to help me make a gingerbread house? Dad's not good at it. It always falls down." Liam groaned. "Ellie, please." But Ava only smiled. "I would love to. The three of them sat at one of the crafting tables, surrounded by icing bags and candy bowls. Employees whispered, watching the intimidating CEO laugh while Ellie insisted their gingerbread house needed more sparkles and at least 3 gummy bears on the roof. Ava followed every instruction as if it were a corporate directive. Liam watched her, stunned. The woman who could freeze a boardroom with a glance now had icing on her fingers and a dimple in her cheek from smiling. When Ellie ran off to show her masterpiece to another kid, Ava wiped her hands and turned to Liam. "She's wonderful," Ava said softly. "She's my whole world," he replied without thinking. Ava's expression softened. "Must be hard, doing it all alone." Liam hesitated. "It is, but she's worth every second." Ava looked down at the gingerbread crumbs. "You know, people assume I have everything. But most days, I feel like I'm standing at the top of a tower I built. Alone." The honesty in her voice stunned him. "A tower's no good if there's no one waiting for you at home," Liam said quietly. Her eyes lifted to his. And something shifted, something unspoken but powerful. Before he could say more, the ballroom lights dimmed, and the DJ announced, "Couples, gather near the mistletoe for the holiday tradition." Groans, laughter, and cheers filled the air. Ava's gaze flicked up to the mistletoe hanging above the center archway. Then she turned back to Liam, cheeks slightly flushed. "Walk with me," she asked. He nodded, heart pounding. They approached the archway just as a small crowd gathered. Ava stepped closer, closer than any boss should stand to an employee. Her perfume was warm, like vanilla and pine. Then, in a voice barely above a whisper, she said, "Kiss me under the mistletoe." Liam froze. He had imagined this woman in his dreams, but reality felt too heavy. "Too risky, Ms. Whitlock," he murmured, voice tight, "you're my boss." Her eyes searched his. "Ava," she corrected. "Just Ava tonight." He exhaled shakily. "And I'm just a single dad who fixes wires and hopes his suit doesn't split." She smiled faintly. I don't care about any of that. Liam looked up at the mistletoe, then back at her. If he kissed her, everything could change. His job, his reputation, his life. No, he said finally. Ava blinked, stunned. Hurt flickered in her eyes. But then Liam stepped closer, so close their foreheads almost touched. I'm not kissing you because people are watching, he whispered. I'll only kiss you when it's just us. When I know you want it for real, not for tradition, not for a moment, but for something that might actually mean something. Ava inhaled sharply, her eyes softened, filled with something he never imagined he'd see directed at him, admiration. The room around them faded as she whispered. You always surprise me, Liam. And you always terrify me, he admitted with a nervous laugh. She laughed too, quiet, warm, real. Ellie appeared suddenly and squeezed herself between them. Daddy, Ms. Ava, come see my gingerbread roof. It's sparkly. Ava bent down. I wouldn't miss it for the world. As she walked away with Ellie, Liam watched them, something tugging at his heart. Something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. Ava glanced back at him once more, her eyes promising that the night wasn't the end, only the beginning. And Liam knew. His reply under the mistletoe hadn't ruined anything. It had changed everything, for both of them.